Alright, now before I do anything else, I'm gonna hydrate. Alright, you guys, let's talk for a quick minute. I'm feeling a little defeated. My soup. But I decided I needed to wait until it was definitely all the way light out to leave today, because I'm not going to have any self-service until I leave the park again. So I don't want to hit any of those places until I can get my tire checked out. Because holy moly, you guys, I've got ice on my hood. Let's do this, and hopefully they can get me back on the road and I don't have to cut my trip short. Let me show you around my campsite now that I'm finally settled in. I still have a little tiny bit of fall color behind me. I get my crunching leaves though. But this is why I wanted to come back here. I'm also not too far from the bathrooms either. That's them over there in that building, wherever I'm pointing, right over there. So I'll be able to walk over there pretty closely. And then this is the exit out. So I only have one neighbor here. I'm not sure if anybody is booked there. And then nobody behind me. This is my bench, my fire pit, lantern hook that I can't use since someone swiped my lantern, and my tent pad. I just noticed there's a nice little green pathway that heads right out back to the road where the restroom is, so I don't have to walk around. Alright, now before I do anything else, I'm gonna hydrate because I have not had nearly enough to drink today. So we're gonna go with the strawberry watermelon polar, and I'm gonna sit here and relax for a bit. Oh man, look, my neighbor is a 4x4 sprinter. I'm so jealous. No offense, Tara. I love you, girl. Oh, alright, you guys, let's talk for a quick minute. I'm feeling a little defeated. Hold on, let me turn off my movie. Alright. Like I was saying, I'm feeling pretty defeated right now. I'm trying so hard to stay positive. I had such an amazing experience with the elk earlier, but seeing that screw in my tire just... Do you guys believe, do any of you believe in signs? I don't know. I do. So, before this trip, I kept, well, I don't want to jinx myself, but suffice it to say that I kept having a recurring dream. So to put myself at ease and for peace of mind, I took my Tara to the mechanic that I trust and have been going to for 20 years now to check it over, make sure everything looked good, and that, you know, I mean, obviously nobody's a psychic. Anything can happen, especially when you're putting in hundreds of miles and going, you know, over multiple highways and up and down mountains. So it's not like you can predict everything. But I figured, you know, if I get a once over, everything looks like it's in good shape, you know, brakes, tires, fluid levels, you know, all the things. So it's so frustrating that I did that to give myself peace of mind. And then I noticed the little shimmy thing. Then my check engine light comes on. It ends up being the coolant. So I put the coolant in. The check engine light stays off. Then I notice a screw in my tire. And you guys know, if you were watching my previous videos, that on the way up here from Florida, when I was coming up on 75, I saw two really, really, really bad blowouts right in front of me. So I don't want to mess around with the tire. And I'm kind of feeling like I'm back to, is this trip doomed? Is there a reason that I'm not supposed to be on this trip? You know, I kept having the dreams. Then I double checked to make sure everything seems okay. And then this is 2 issues in 2 days. I'm trying to look at the bright side and say, you know what? Maybe there's a reason for everything. Maybe the reason that my coolant was low and my light came on was so that I would find out about the coolant before I headed into Cataloochee Valley in a super remote area with no cell service and no way to call for roadside assistance. So I found out about that before then. And then because of the coolant and me checking and looking to make sure there was no leaks or fluid underneath my vehicle after stopping again and checking the levels and bending down, because of that, I happened to notice the screw when otherwise I would not have been looking for one. So it makes me think, you know, maybe that was to prevent something worse from happening. That's what I'm trying to tell myself to feel better. But it kind of feels like at this point, do I really want to continue on? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some comfort food. We're going to have some lentil soup. I'm going to have a nice hot dinner. I'm going to try to warm up, decompress by watching some favorite movies that I've downloaded. Oh, yeah. Don't even get me started on the fact that I spilled coffee all over my bed earlier when I was dealing with everything in Frazzled, and that none of the downloads that I downloaded from Netflix are playing. I'm getting some kind of error code. I'm sorry, I know I'm complaining and ranting a lot right now, and you guys do not tune in to see that, but I want to keep it real and I want to be transparent. And I know I get a lot of comments all the time about, I wish I could do this. It looks so much fun. It looks like so much fun. You know, I'm so jealous and I want to be doing the things that you're doing and things like that. And I've even had some people tell me I have the perfect life, which is kind of hilarious to me because I'm just trying to get from one day to the next most of the time. But, and you know, some days I don't even think I do that very well. But, yeah, I want to just be transparent because it's obviously not all sunshines and rainbows, because I've been planning this trip for over a year now since I had to cancel last fall. It's really been like 2 years. I've been so excited. It's all I've been thinking about for months. I rented a second camera. I've had this itinerary fine-tuned. I've had plan B and C for everything. Thank goodness I did. So it's just really kind of a letdown. And it's really hard for me to stay positive and focus on all of the beauty around me and all of the awesome things I'm seeing when I have this stress hanging over my head about what is going to go wrong next. And I just am trying to decide whether it's worth it. So, like I was saying, we're going to have some lentil soup. I'm going to throw some chicken in it for some extra protein because I have not hardly eaten much at all this week with everything. And then I'm going to have a fruit pouch while that's cooking. I have my sweet tarts and chocolate on deck. That's how you know I'm stressed, because it's been days that I've had them and I haven't even opened either of them. And normally those are gone the first day. So we're going to have a nice comfort meal here. I'm going to shut the heck up. Going to run to the bathroom before it gets dark. Tomorrow's going to be better. All right, I'm bundled up. Yes, I'm wearing my raincoat inside, but I've got my scarf on. I've got my little headband on. Let's see if I can show you without making a mess. I've got my soup that I am getting ready to eat right now. I am going to be super careful because I do not want another mess over my bed. And I will see you when I'm done eating dinner, but probably just to say goodnight because I'm exhausted. I've got my bed cleared off. Well, mostly I've just shoved my blankets up there. I'm going to slide into my sleeping bag once I finish this up and get toasty. So, see you in a bit. Good morning. Oh no, I don't want to turn this light on yet. Oh, it's cold. It was really cozy in my sleeping bag, but oh, I can definitely feel the chill as soon as I sit up. Let's do it. Oh, I don't know if you can see that or not. No, probably not. It's 30.4 Fahrenheit. That is chilly. All right, I'm gonna get back under the covers and I'll see you in a sec. All right, I think I'm crooked, but I'm too cold to reach over and adjust you. I have my clothes for the day pre-warming in the blankets with me, and I decided to wait until it was light out. Initially, I was going to head to Mingo Falls for sunrise, and then go back to the river to check out the elk, and then hit a couple of waterfalls on the way to Cloudland Canyon State Park. And they're actually at peak fall color right now, so I was super excited about that. But I decided I needed to wait until it was definitely all the way light out to leave today because I'm not going to have any cell service until I leave the park again. So I don't want to hit any of those places until I can get my tire checked out because I don't know how long the screw's been in there. I think I picked it up after I was at the other automotive store because I think I would have noticed it. So I don't want to be driving up in the mountains or national forest roads and get a flat. So we're going to head to the tire shop as soon as I get some coffee, go to the bathroom, get dressed, check the air in my tires, make sure my coolant level is still where it should be. And then we're going to head out of the park, get some cell reception, look up a tire shop, and hopefully be back on the road. At this time, I don't know whether I am going to cut my losses and head home once I feel that my tire is safe again, or if I am going to continue on my road trip to Cloudland Canyon and a bunch of other cool places still, because I still had a whole other state to cross into after that. And lots of cool plans that I really don't want to scrap, but I also don't want to be stupid and end up regretting it. So, TBD, you'll have to stay tuned to see where I end up next. I'll reassess after the tire shop. Holy moly, you guys, I've got ice on my hood. Holy moly, you guys. It's not something that happens in Florida very often. All right, let's go pee. You can see there's still patches of color that way a little bit. All right, time to take down the window covers. I've got the car pre-warming at the moment. Oh, I need to put that window up more. I need to have that one strapped somewhere. You can see we've got some frost going on back there. Please don't mind my hair. It is 24 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. I just got back from using the bathroom now that it's light enough. I have the car running, so sorry about the noise. I'm just getting it warmed up a little bit in here so that I can get dressed. I have my clothes for the day chilling under the covers with me. I was really toasty warm all night last night considering the temperature. When I woke up in here, it was 30. I've got it up to 37 now, although it's actually probably closer to 40. I'm going to let it run for another 5 minutes before I cut it off, get dressed, and we'll get ready for our day. By the way, these things are awesome. I finally got some USB rechargeable hand warmers. And you can adjust it to either low, medium, or high. And these babies get hot and they recharge really fast. So I have used these so much already this trip. I have one more thing I'm going to be testing out. The company iHood was nice enough to send me one of their really nice heated jackets. So I purposely did not use it last night because I wanted to compare the difference, how I handle the cold without it and with it. And I am going to have a video about that coming, as well as some other cold busting tips. So let's start this day, shall we? All right, let's do this, and hopefully they can get me back on the road and I don't have to cut my trip short. Okay, so I was hoping to find a Pep Boys because that's where I got my initial tires done. Sorry, I'm trying to get my jacket off now that I'm hot. I should have done that before I started filming, huh? The closest thing I was able to find was a Cherokee tire and auto repair, or tire and something repair, so hopefully they can repair my tire. I think it's in a spot that's patchable, and I talked to my dad now that I'm in an area with service, and he thinks that it is too. So fingers crossed that they can safely patch it, and that I can continue on my trip and salvage the rest of my itinerary for the week, and that it won't take the rest of the day. Okay, friends, quick updates. Thank you to Cherokee Tire and Auto Repair, shout outs. They were about 6 miles from where I was when I exited the park, and I went over there. They were able to get me right in. They confirmed that it was repairable, and were able to get it patched and me back on the road in under an hour. So I'm actually feeling a lot more optimistic and grateful now. Both of the things that threw me into a panic. This goes to show you it's very rarely as bad as you build it up in your head, because I was sure that my engine light yesterday was going to take me out of commission. I had nightmares all night about being stranded away from everybody. As you saw, I'm sure a lot of you are rolling your eyes at my overreaction. Then I got to camp, Saw the screw yesterday and I just lost it. It kind of felt like things were starting to pile on, that it was one thing after another, that it was this ill-fated trip of doom in my mind. But I'm trying to look at it from another perspective because, like I said before, if I hadn't have had the light go on when it did and I hadn't decided to get it checked out, thanks to some prompting by a couple of friends and my parents, then that would have ended up really bad if I had continued on, or even if I had decided to bail and go home. Either way, I would have ended up stranded on the side of the road somewhere. So I'm thankful that turned out the way it did. The same thing with my tire. If I hadn't noticed that screw when I did, by being extra vigilant because of the light, I wouldn't have noticed it, and then I would have gotten on the highway, and God only knows if it would have ended up being an even more serious and potentially dangerous issue. So, 2 very quick, painless, relatively cheap fixes. Knock on wood, that is the end of my troubles. Tara's being a little high maintenance, girl, no offense. So hopefully she settled down and she's ready to enjoy the rest of the trip. But I am going to head on to the next destination, so let's get going and try to salvage this day. This is such a cute area. We just passed Nantahala Outdoor Center with whitewater rafting, and there's all these little, just cute little businesses and stuff through here. Not to mention the river is gorgeous. I really want to stop and have some lunch because I'm hungry, but I'm so behind schedule. I think I'm just gonna keep on booking until I get to camp and then eat there. I don't know, we'll see. There's all these little pullouts with stairs down to the river. I want to stop. But I also don't want to waste my whole time at camp that I'm paying for, because if I get there right before dark and I have to check out tomorrow, oh well. At least I'm not even going to jinx myself. All right. Onward and upward. All right, I couldn't resist. I had to stop at one real quick. Wouldn't this be a lovely coffee spot right now? I have not had my coffee yet. Cherokee County Rest Area. And I had to stop for a minute because it's literally the prettiest rest area I've ever been in. I just used the restrooms, which were awesome. But look at this. Look how pretty it is with all the leaves and the little creek running through and all the trees. There's little picnic tables. And then come look at this view. That's all. So I also plugged in my Hot Logic. I put my taco meat in so that it'll be ready when I get to camp. I'll have tacos tonight. Tacos make everything better. But you're the only 10 I see. Smooth like butter, baby. think that is the closest bathroom to me, I believe. We finally made it. Woo! I really like my site. It's not private at all, but it's pretty. I'll show you. Let me show you around my campsite now that I'm finally settled in. I can tell we're past peak here, but definitely still a lot of gorgeous color. I can't wait for my hike tomorrow morning. This is site number 28 at Cloudland Canyon. Look how cool my little candle fire turned out. It's pretty cool looking. We'll see when I have to put it out. I'm just supposed to put the lid on it, so... And then I'm getting ready to have my tacos. I was gonna make a fire, but honestly, I'm so tired. I don't think I'm gonna last very long tonight. I did go ahead and put my lights back up to get back in the festive mood. All right, let's go eat. Just gonna pop a few tortillas on top there to get warm. Let's see if it's really as easy to put out as it says. Oh, impressive. Alrighty then.